She was like, that. She's like, I don't know about that. She's like, no.
Two dudes, no chick. She wasn't feeling it.
She was like, 2 dudes without Tiff. I don't know what that's like. I'm like, it's all good.
Like cooking your favorite dish and you're missing an ingredient. Right?
Man, you might have to get on this mic with me. You might have to go back and forth.
Nah, we go.
I need somebody to go back and forth with.
We're gonna let you do what you do, man.
Like, pick it up. Every time they see me, man, they want to smile. Man,
Oh, you talking to me?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Then you pick it up and throw it back. Okay. Oh. Okay. I'm feeling this. Here we go. Yeah. Look. Every time I come through, I put it down on you. Hitting it from the back end and making the booty clap, girl, I wanna give it to you. You say it's never too much, but it's always given to you right just the way you want it. Tell your girls that I ain't hitting it right. Girl, you better even stop fronting. Never too much, always on right. Never too much, give it to you tight. Priest daddy, all you screaming, girl, all you screaming out through the freaking night.
I think we should make it 20 minutes. 20 seconds. I feel like 30 is too long.
Hey, that beat was hard.
I feel like 30 is too long.
Hot fire.
I feel like 30 is too long.
Hey, if I would have had a little more time to play with that beat was hard.
I really
Man.
do. I really do feel like I thought you was going.
Man.
Sometimes you think he gonna kill it and then he don't.
Hey, that beat. Man, hold on. That beat.
He started off and I was like, oh, he's about to murder. And then he went.
Hey, I'm telling you what threw you off is when you see them hands, you're like, oh, it's coming.
He was like this every time,
coming.
like he was going to a cookbook or something, looking for the ingredients.
Hey, I couldn't look at his hands because.
He's too much.
You just watched this with no sound. Oh, he fit the blaze.
Hey.
No sound? Yeah.
He's spinning bars.
But the bars
Man, look. Hey, you see how he don't never want to give me the beat? I'll be like, dude, let me get the beat a week before so I spit. So he just drop it on. I got that time to figure out what I'm finna rap about and everything.
What's his sway?
Man, the five fingers of death. That's how you make it seem like.
All right, flow to this.
Yeah, I'll be like, look, give me a little more time.
That's the whole point of it.
So I should have been throwing words at him.
Ooh.
Android.
Don't do that. I'll murder that.
You're not ready for that?
That's
You're saying you can do that?
Hey, don't make me.
Try it.
Hey, don't make me bring it back.
Let's just throw out words. Hey, I've seen people do that before.
Hey.
Fabby Jr.
Fabulous be freestyling?
Yeah. Oh, you just do the head.
Yeah, nah, man, they got it short in that joint.
Oh, we about to run it back.
I sure was getting ready to run it back on him.
Who's going to run it back?
That don't work.
Now his headphones don't work.
You want to use mine?
Come on, man. I ain't never scared of a good time. Come on, man.
This is a first and 2 dudes in the chat.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Ernani,
saying?
you got it?
The words?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right.
Hold on, let me get my.
Get your mojo right, man.
Oh, man. Oh, he gonna stand up? He gonna stand up?
Hey, people don't understand how hard this really is, man. You know what I'm saying?
They don't understand.
All right, you ready?
Hold on. Let me get my groove and then you throw it out
So
there.
as soon as I see the hands, I'm going to throw them.
Okay.
Hey, comedy, bro.
Just getting home, chilling. Your boy is up in the villain.
Hey.
Never too much, nigga. When I get between the legs, you gon' catch that feeling.
Vallejo.
It's where your boy is from. V-Town, baby. Man, I'm a son of a gun. Keep throwing.
I thought you was going to have another bar.
He said
Vallejo is where I'm from. All right.
Hey, it got too complicated for it. He had to think too much with it.
Hey, that beat was hard. I killed it, man. I ain't gonna front. I messed it up. That beat was hard though. Who did that beat?
That was my boy Dre T, man.
God, dog, that beat, man. I'm sorry, Dre T, man. That beat was hard. Hey, we gonna have to run that back, man. Let me ponder on that one. That was the hardest beat you threw out.
That's funny.
That was so hard. I wasn't ready for it. I
kind of threw you off,
man.
right?
Dog, that beat,
listen.
that beat was hard. Like that was the hardest one.
Especially because you had Lufa in the back.
Man, never too much.
Oh.
Not Luther, Lufa.
Run it back one more time, dog. Let me sing.
Oh, man.
Let me sing. Let me see what's up, dog.
Oh, Jesus, man.
Maybe I needed to sing to that.
We ain't even got the introduction there.
Let me sing. Let me see what's up. Let me sing that. That you said Luther, and I'm like, you right. Luther. That's why I didn't justify it.
All right, bro. This your third time's the charm.
Girl.
Oh, jeez.
You know I'm thinking about you.
Pray for him.
And everything I want to do. I'm kicking down the door. Smack you upside your head. You girl, you like it rough, just like I said, girl. You want it even in the bed. I'm feeling on that booty, feeling on the legs, just the way I like.
What beat are you listening to?
Never too much, give it to me night. Girl, it's Priest D on the microphone. Never too much, give it to you even on the throne. In the bathroom, in the shower, it's never too much every hour. Never too much, straight from the hip, thrusting, pushing, passion every hour.
Like that.
Do you think you zone out when you?
Man,
I don't know what he think he do.
I tried to.
Hey, you know what though? He started to catch it at the end.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I gotta find my rhythm.
At
you know
the end of the third time.
Man.
Hey, take 3.
No more. That's enough.
Wow.
All right, well, thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for being patient with me while I try to find my groove.
Thank y'all for not turning us off.
Man, it's your boy.
Thank God they can't turn us off. Like,
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
they don't know.
Oh, no. It's your boy, Mr. PhD, Pretty Handsome Don Juan, a.k.a. Double S Slim and Sexy, a.k.a. Double S CD, Slim Sexy, Celine Dion, a.k.a. This my new one right here.
Did you write them down?
Yes,
Mr. PWT, Pretty White Teeth. But most of y'all making me laugh, man. Y'all making me laugh. I was doing it so smooth, and y'all like, did you write them down?
I kept. You look at your phone.
You know what I'm saying?
Natural.
It was natural.
It was not. That's why I was like, did you write them down? Because
man, I damn near want to start all over because you threw off my
don't.
groove.
Did you say pretty white teeth?
Pretty white teeth.
PWT, Pretty White Teeth. That's a new one. But most of y'all know me as Priest D, aka Riding in the Caddy. Ladies, sorry to keep you waiting. Go ahead and say what's up. Hey. What up, ladies? Tiff get jealous of that. She get jealous of the ladies. She get jealous of the ladies.
I think what you seeing is not jealousy, but more along the lines of embarrassment.
Jealous of him talking about, hey, like,
Jealous.
what? There are no ladies.
You in here.
I'm talking about who am I going to be jealous of?
Man, when I do that live, like when we have a live show,
You
I'll be
think
like,
so?
yeah, it's Priest D riding in the caddy. Ladies say what's up to daddy. They can like the whole crowd go, hey.
Bruh,
And I'll
if
be
the
like,
whole crowd do that, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might
Dude,
get up and walk
the
out.
whole crowd gonna go, hey. And I'm gonna say it smooth like
I
this.
might walk out.
Hey, if
What up,
he
ladies?
after about like episode 30, they probably be able to finish his lines.
That's
for
what I'm
him.
trying to tell you, man.
Nah,
Hey,
cause
I
he
see it.
He change it every
I
week.
see
You
it.
don't know
I
what's
don't know if we're
coming.
going to get the
I see
extended
it.
version
Or
or
the
short
short
version.
version.
Like,
Nah, I
you never
like
know.
Sometimes you be like,
And
it's
now he's
Priest D.
adding
I like that. I
names
like
to
that. Say
it.
what's up to daddy. Hey. What's up, ladies? Go ahead, Tiff. Go ahead, Tiff.
I don't. This
Introduce
Dr.
yourself.
RJ.
And
What's-
go ahead.
What? You got some more to
No,
add
you're just taking too long.
to your name? Jeez, what's up, y'all? It's your girl, Tiff. And I'm back. Did you guys miss me?
We
Oh,
I don't think you missed me.
I thought you were talking about the audience, but yeah, man, we did.
We missed you.
You guys did good. I listened to the episode.
We needed that extra.
Yeah, it was kind of weird, but we killed it though. Still.
Yeah, you guys did a really good job.
I feel like
introduce yourself, Jack.
We needed your 15 minutes of talk. We shorted the audience 15 minutes last week.
I was cracking up when you did the roundup, and then Brandon was like,
he hated on me.
He was like, so
he did a review.
He hated. Wait. We get ahead of ourselves though. Hey, I want to introduce. I know y'all been hearing another voice in the microphone. We got a special guest with us today, young brother from Vallejo. I got an opportunity to spend, a good 6 months with him when I was working on my dissertation. He was the star of the show. We called him in my dissertation. I called him the new Jack Principal, the one and the only Santos from People's High School. Man, we ain't gonna call it by his official name, right? We're gonna call it by his OG name.
What is the name of it now?
I thought it was always People's.
Nah,
it's not People's anymore?
No, John Finney High School. So, probably about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
The principal at the time, Edison Kelly, rebranded it, right? So
I never knew Edison was the principal. You know, me and Edison go way back.
Yep. So kind of like a rebranding thing. There was many like negative connotations with the name People's High. So it was going in a different direction. So named it after a longtime principal, Mr. John Finney, a great man. So
still look the same though.
Still look the same. A lot of times when I'm talking to folks from Vallejo, round about our age or older, I don't even call it Finney because
First of all, our age is not your age.
Wow.
You see, already.
I'm just saying, like, I know y'all was thinking that when
I was gonna let it ride.
No, I will say this though. I just thought about this the other day. So you know how like when you're younger, a couple of years seem like forever. 20 years, right? Yeah. So I remember me and Tiff go way back. Her brother Teron and I graduated together. So I forgot what we was doing. I think we was at like Stephanie's house one time. We was all kicking it.
Probably.
And she seemed like hella younger than us. Like I'm talking about.
I am.
But I'm talking about like a toddler. You know what I'm saying?
You got 4 to 5 on her. She made it seem like I'm with you, dog.
So here's the funny story. Like, we doing our thing. She hanging out with the big dogs. You know what I'm saying? And for some reason we was on, right, doing what we do, and we were like, I don't even know if you remember this, but I forgot her name. You know what I mean? So I
do remember.
So like the movie Aladdin was on. So for the rest of the night, me and my boy Marco, her name was Jasmine. For the rest of the night. Right? Yeah. And she's like, that's not my name. I'm like, Jasmine. So that's funny. I didn't think you was gonna remember that. But
that's heck of fun. We go way back.
But like she like, I was still in diapers when you was I got 5 years on you.
Let's set the record straight.
Right. It ain't that much.
Hey, it's crazy, man. I don't know where I feel like I know you before I knew you was partnered with Teron. Probably just seen you around or something, just being from Vallejo. But
everybody knows everybody in Vallejo some kind of way.
Yeah, Vallejo ain't but that big.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's really 6 degrees of separation out there.
Like somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody.
For sure.
That knows somebody.
Like even when me and Dr. IJ started working together, like we started mentioning names. Oh yeah, no. Real quick,
man. So now I wanted him to come on the show today. Just man, if y'all don't know, he got one of the most interesting stories that I've ever heard. First of all, for my dissertation, it was supposed to be on black principles. So I invited him because I thought he was black.
You're not black? Mexican, huh?
He ain't Mexican either.
His last name is Santos.
I never put it.
Wait,
hold on.
Crazy.
I never. It just hit me.
All his kids look like little Hawaiian kids.
No,
I
thought maybe one of his parents was mixed. I got partners that parents mix, and they look like they mix.
I thought he was black the whole I asked all his students. They was like, it was down the middle, bro. All the black kids was like, man, he a nigga.
They all said that.
All the Mexican kids was like, he Mexican. Like, bro, like
you're
like,
relatable.
and he ain't neither one.
When people ask me that, like, number one, no one ever guesses, like, ever, and that's like
you Hawaiian.
So right now we're gonna ruin like my talking piece, because normally that's like conversation, like, what are you? But like now, because you know this is gonna be big, because you guys are getting big, like everybody's gonna know my secret. You know, when people ask me, like, I mean, I've had people at like women at the gas. Are you from Kentucky? You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, it's just, I'm from Vallejo. That's what it is. Like, real talk, born and raised, and, you know, seasoned. You know, and that was part of, like, you know, my little jump off, like, the reason that I'm seasoned, right? Just Vallejo, California, all through there. Beverly Hills, California, and I'm not talking about 90210. Right, 9459 or 1, depending on what part you're from. So funny story. Superintendent at the time, Dr. Bishop, you know, professional woman, right? This powerful black woman. So we had this like Measure A mixer, and I had to step in for Edison because he couldn't make it. And so like she asked me, she's like, "Well, can I ask you a question?" And I'm like, this is serious business. Superintendent want to ask you a question. You're like, absolutely. So like, I'm thinking it's going to be something in regards to like budget. You know what I'm saying? Like,
serious.
Like curriculum and instruction.
What is that?
That's exactly. She said, oh, don't take this wrong, but I just have to ask you, what are you? And it just kind of blew my mind. Like, this is like the superintendent. So I was like, she said, because, you know, down at the district, the rumor is
not the
dang,
rumor.
You got a pool.
They had a pool.
I
bet he's black. They had a pool.
Some people are saying you're black. Some people are saying you're Filipino. What is it? And I said, I'm Filipino and Guamanian officially.
Dude, I never knew.
Officially.
You got none of us in you,
bro.
Hey, for the record. This is, and I knew this way back when, but yeah, definitely, because someone posted something on Facebook for Black History Month, right? And so they were talking about what other nationalities. Man, if you look at like some real Filipinos from the jungle, man,
they got a little color to them.
Afros and the whole nine, like no shit.
I thought you were just light skinned and your kids had good hair.
My God.
I'm mind blown right now.
His kids look mixed.
No,
that's
they look
how I
mixed,
was.
but I'm just saying though, like I'm thought he black with something, like, you know what I'm saying, like
that's how I was, bro.
But just black. Like if you look at him, you just think black, light skinned black.
Maybe
dude.
because he was always around black folks.
That's what it is, though.
He said he's seasoned. Like, I don't know, man.
The reason why I'm seasoned.
Bro, I had to go to my advisors at school, and I was like,
change it up. Look,
bro, I was like, I've been doing this study, and just found out dude ain't black. Like, what do I do?
Your black principal?
Right. I was like, what do I do?
Still cool.
They looked at me, was like, you got to spin that. I was like,
figure it out,
man.
Should have did your research.
So we had to. I had to switch it up one time because he threw my whole thing off.
Hey, we were at the CASA conference, and so that's like the organization for all like the African American administrators, right? So I mean, obviously anybody can go to the conference, but like they had this thing where they're like, all African American principals stand up, right? And so
everybody
people stand. They looked at me crazy, like, you ain't gonna stand up, like what you boycotting? So I just stood up. I'm like,
it's just easier to just stand up. I didn't want to explain to everybody what's going on.
Right, because they like, man, like, what you dissing it? Like, you know, I didn't want to be like, oh, you ain't proud of it. Like, I'm like, we could talk later. Let me just stand up because I got all these eyeballs on me, right? They like really mugging
Why
me.
he hesitate?
Right.
Is your wife even black? Is Ange black?
Yeah, absolutely.
She mixed?
Everybody mixed with a little something. Well, I got a funny story for that, but I don't want to get in trouble for you for telling it. But yeah, absolutely. There's there's.
Well, that could also
French
add to the people assumption that he's black because his wife is black.
Look, not only did it mess up my mind, but all these years I've been thinking Vin Diesel was black.
He not black?
Wait,
I don't know if he not or not, but when he said he wasn't
don't
black,
know if he
Oh,
did.
you
it made
started
me
questioning everything.
I started questioning everybody on the borderline. I started putting
Everybody
question
light
marks.
skinned, be like,
When you go to everybody Wikipedia and see where they from.
I was like, you got a question mark now, bro. Like, I've been thoroughly bamboozled. Everybody get a
last
question
name
mark.
Johnson, not Johnston. So
He not black.
he black.
He black.
He black.
His daddy black, but I had to do my research.
Wait, I thought he was like.
His mama, I think, is Samoan.
Who was that?
Dude, that's
Rock.
why I
The
thought
Rock.
you were
The
black and
Rock.
Samoan.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I had to do my
Yeah.
research.
And that's probably because his kids are like little beasts and everything.
Man,
they
straight
do.
up. I just figured they on the field like
Playing rugby and stuff.
Oh man,
Get it.
love my children, man. Love my
Yeah, they
children.
about to retire, y'all. One of them,
Man,
for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, that's the plan is college, but obviously as a parent, you want to see them reach their full potential. So shoot, I mean, actually, this is my second trip up this way because my son, the oldest boy, goes to
He goes to school out
Jesuit.
here.
Yeah.
So I had to pick him up from rugby practice.
And then you can't
Bring
Rugby.
him back, but I love y'all. So plus it's an honor to be.
Hey, when you step through, I say, "Oh, that's love right here." He ain't playing for real. That's dope. Right
Well, first
there.
of all, when he stepped through on time, I was like, wait a minute, because I ain't never seen the Santos family
oh
time.
yeah,
come
yeah,
nothing on time.
Hey, can I just
that
tell you?
is real.
They be booked and busy though, I'm sure.
They do.
Yeah.
So, but every
Every
time
party
my
I
brother
see
have
them
a
come
function,
through.
they always come like the after party. They come.
Hey, I was at your brother's house. What was it, Thanksgiving?
Remember they came through,
I was there late,
and then they came.
and they came through. I'm like, who coming?
I kick it.
1 in the morning. Said a good while too.
Hey, second win.
Said a good while. I said, what?
heck
The
of
kids
funny.
came in like they knew what the whole thing was.
Oh,
Like,
they
we-
knew to get down, take
Yeah,
your
we
shoes
know to
off,
get
go
down.
upstairs.
Bye.
Well, we're only late to people that we love because everybody else, we just don't show up.
Check it. Huh? Ain't
Exactly.
gonna make it.
I didn't expect that.
And then they hit us the next day. Well, you know how it go. Kids had game so for the people that you love, you make the extra effort, tired and
That's
whatnot.
real, though.
And,
That's
so-
official.
That's real.
Yeah, but let me do my introduction. You know what I'm saying? This is Ernani Santos, a.k.a.
Okay.
9L
Speak
Clothing,
that. Okay.
b.k.a. Mr. Green Eyes.
Okay.
right?
Okay.
NKA. You know what NKA stand for?
Nah, tell me.
Now known as the game orchestrator.
Okay.
The game orchestrator in the
I
building.
like that. I like
Please
that.
don't give him no more
Hey,
ideas.
you mind if I take that? Now known as. I'm gonna have to slide that in.
Man.
Dang, I like that.
Hey, I think you got some competition, Priest.
Nah, hey, no, it's no.
Hey, I think you got some competition, bro.
all
Hey,
love.
I wasn't prepared for
No
that.
comment. Hey, it's respect this way. It's no
That was like
comment.
a
I can't
double dose
compete with
right
that.
there.
No, he knew it was a collab automatic. That's why he was trying to get me to like
Man, I was
vibe.
trying to throw
Oh
the rap
my
back.
gosh, I cannot.
Boy, that was a double dose right there. We done gave him a triple dose and a
I
double
thought he
dose.
was about to run down his accolades and like
I thought he was too.
everything.
Then he pulled a Priest D on us. and stepped it up with the NKA. I was like,
No, he
the
threw another
NKA?
one in there too.
BKA, better
Yeah.
known as.
Okay. I missed that one.
Hey, you wouldn't give him another one.
Hey, I'm
All them gonna come up next
gonna
week.
listen back.
He didn't forget.
BKA, NKA.
AKA. All right, got it.
That's heck of funny.
Hey, that was dope,
Wow.
man.
So what's up, Ernani? I wonder, did you think you was gonna be like teaching, like in the educational field?
Hell to the no.
I didn't think so.
Well, let me ask you this: could you see that coming?
No, that's why I said I didn't think so.
Not in a million years. Not in a million. Honestly, I was the one that wasn't gonna have no kids either.
Oh well.
Oh,
Now,
man.
Blew
now I
that.
got 4. Like,
Right, blew that.
Yeah.
Hey, honestly,
Just had one.
right.
Yes.
Right. Hey, I'm back in the game, y'all. I'm back in the
Oh
game.
my
Yes.
Swimmers are
god.
still swimming.
Starting all over.
Hey,
Literally.
I told somebody, I said, well, you know what that really was is I was signing a long-term deal. I had an extension of my contract.
Hey, the owner was like, "Hey, we need you for a few more years, sir.
right.
We ain't ready to retire you yet."
Hey.
You know, I'm damn near like the Tom Brady of this, man. You know, I got championships under no. No, on the real, like, no, seriously, like no one ever expected like kids. And then it turned out I was the first one out the gate out of like my friends with kids. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So yeah, you just never know. So yeah, education was never never crossed my mind. And this is part of like Ejom and I talked at length. Like, I don't know if he told you guys, but you guys doing this kind of like inspired me, because this actually is something that I wanted to do for a long time. But we talked. I'm like a details person, right? So if it's not like all ironed out, like I don't like to pull the trigger.
Right.
But then y'all listen to you guys, I'm like, man, just do it.
Just
do it. Right?
We sat around for 2 months trying to figure
do
out
it.
how we
Just
gonna
do
do
it,
it,
man.
and then
Right.
just
You can learn as you go.
But so Joe Jones, I don't know if everyone knows Joe Jones from Vallejo.
How can you?
Yeah.
You guys don't know Joe Jones?
I don't.
Are you guys from Vallejo? Like, how do
You
you
know
not
Joe
know
Jones?
Joe Jones?
So I was
Oh,
well, you know,
my
he's the
gosh.
one who helped found the Atkins program, which is now
Right,
Willie
right.
B. Like,
Right,
I
right.
mean, phenomenal story in itself. You know, a guy that worked his
Tiffany
way.
Jones?
Yeah.
No.
Tiffany Jones.
Board member. Well, you know, he was a board member. Anyways,
daddy.
he's kind of the one that kind of got me hooked. So right out of college, I was working at the Boys and Girls Club, and I was
Is
going
that
to be
still open?
no.
They shut it down.
Yeah.
Bruh, that building.
It
was bad,
If
huh?
you blow on it too hard, it might.
Yeah.
Dang, it's probably breaking
Yeah.
all kinds of codes. Huh?
Yeah, you
They
can't.
probably should have been. shut down.
You can't have kids playing in there.
It's
so
but
where
it's
they go
sad. Nowhere. That's the problem.
Oh.
That's the problem.
Yeah,
Man,
no
I
way.
was raised there. Like my
Did
mom
they
used to be
tear the
like,
building
You
down?
talking about the Nennels?
yeah.
Not the
I lived in
Nennels.
Not the
Lofus.
Nennels.
I lived in Lofus, dog. During my breaks, my mom be like, "Go to boys club." We be
Yeah.
there from like 8 to 5.
Yeah.
Damn near every day. She
Yeah.
would make us go
For
there.
like
The
$20.
Nennels. If you from
$20
Vallejo,
a
you know what the
month.
Nennels
No,
is.
you
You know it was
definitely
going.
know
It was
that.
cracking at the Nennels.
Yeah.
Hey, being from the other side, you was trying to find a way to get there, and hopefully you knew somebody so you cool.
That was me. I was from the other side.
Because now you in the north and you from the south. You know that wasn't cool back in the day.
Hey, it wasn't, bro.
Yeah.
The suicide. Yeah. Yeah.
So then, so he picked me up. He was like, "Well, why you trying to figure it out? Because won't you substitute?" You know what I'm saying? So
He was tricking you. That was probably hard.
there was, but you know what?
you in the door.
1 month of teaching PE. I walked in to be a substitute. Obviously, teacher shortage. They gave me a full time. Looked at my transcript. Ooh, hired.
Damn,
And
what school
then
you went to?
Solano Middle. I taught there for 2 years.
No, I'm talking about college.
Oh, St. Mary's. St. Mary's College, California. I would be a professional student if I could, though. I would just stay in college.
And just study?
Yeah, and just take classes.
Dang.
Yeah. But 1 month of teaching, that was it. I was like, this is it. This is
Kids
what
probably
I'm doing.
love you too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the kids do, man. And I think it's really because he relatable. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
Like he ain't gonna put on no extra when he talk to him. He just gonna give him the real. They respect him for that.
Straight lace.
The straight lace.
Hey, and I'll cuss your ass out now. No, you know, it's one of those things like when you have kids or when you're dealing with kids, if you draw the line, and as long as you fair and consistent, like they be all right. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like had kids today mad. You know, I'm on them about the uniform. They mad. They walk away, but they see me the next day. You know, it's like nothing ever happened because it's they gonna get the same message with me every time. Like it's
Right.
not
Got
gonna change.
uniforms?
What's that?
People's got uniforms?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's totally different.
Damn.
Wait, is it still a continuation school?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. So, you know, the kids fight it, but you know, my thing is, I mean, kids, you damn near grown. Like I have 17 and 18-year-olds. Like
Yeah.
if you can't figure out how to wear a uniform, like
Like
some of y'all,
this.
how you gonna hold a job?
Yeah.
You know, I didn't do my lines. Missed me with that. Because if you show up to work without your uniform, you ain't getting no money.
wrap.
Yeah, come on.
I ain't even thought about that.
Makes sense.
I ain't even put 2 and 2 together like that.
But the kids understand it. You know what I'm saying? When you give it to them like that,
Yeah, that's
they
what I'm
really
saying.
understand that.
It
you
makes
know what I
sense
mean?
when you said that. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. I never put 2 and 2 together like that.
Well, probably because it's like younger kids and stuff. But when they're 17, 18, like once you leave here, like it's the real world.
Right,
This is your
yeah.
last stop.
The conversation totally is definitely different.
So a uniform for a 6th grader, I can see, you know what I'm saying? It wouldn't make sense to have that conversation with what you gonna do when you get a job.
At continuation schools, would you say that they're easier than regular public schools?
I'm not gonna necessarily say easier, but the teachers do well. At least at my school, I can't speak for all of them. Finney or Peoples, they try to meet the kids where they're at, right? So, a lot of kids are credit deficient for a variety of reasons, but a lot of times they're missing something as far as a skill.
No kid left behind type.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So there's a gap there. And so people will say it's easier, but that's because the teacher is trying to fill that gap. And so sometimes the work is accommodated, to help them get it, So
Right.
a kid with attendance problems. And here's the other misconception. I get tired of explaining this too. These aren't all the bad kids. Like these aren't all maybe back in the day, not right now, right? Yeah. These aren't all the kids that were about to be expelled and all that. No, some of these kids are dealing with homelessness, right?
Wow, yeah.
And and are moving every month, and so they, if you don't go to school, you can't get the information. So then you're expected to show up to the next grade ready when you didn't barely go to school the year before. And now you a junior or senior, you know what I'm saying?
What you think about that no kid left behind?
I never was a fan.
Yeah, it kind of like sets them up for failure a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, and if that is what, obviously that's what it was. I mean, there should have been like a plan to support
not
the
just
kids.
throw them up there and like,
oh yeah, you didn't learn your times tables, but you're going to go to the next.
you'll catch it, but it
Yeah.
just gets harder and harder and harder.
I wish I could show you my grades, man. I don't know where I put them at.
Right, talking to them.
I was saying I wish I could show you my grades, man. My grades were horrible. I think I would have been at your school in these times with my grades.
Yeah, they were pretty bad. What was it, like a 1 point?
Man, I had like a
Yeah, he was on the
1 point
borderline.
Just getting
1.8
credit for spelling your name on the
from
paper.
9 through 12, damn near.
That's sad.
That is.
But it's a totally different time, man. Like, expectations are very high these days where, well, here's the thing. I mean, that's part of the problem from back in the day is that the expectations
So low.
were so low. And so guess what? If you set the bar to a certain height, well, that's what they're going to, kids going to, rise to. So if you set it low, even though a kid might got the potential, that's where they go try to reach. Right. So, there's all kind of, institutionalized racism, you know what I'm saying? Like even now, and I have mixed feelings, like our school district was ADG requirement, in order just to graduate. So they had to meet the UC minimum requirements to graduate. And it sounds good in theory, but then you think about the kids at my school who are having a lot of gaps to fill. However, like if you don't raise the bar, then like we're kind of tracking. That's like old school word where you just put, oh, here's your track because you're this. Yeah. And you can never go to college. You know what I'm saying? So without saying it, it's kind of what you're doing it when you don't educate the kids at a young age and give them the skills to be able to do that. So
do your school prepare kids to go to other schools or get them back in the system of public school, or is it just there to graduate?
Well, just each kid is different. So, we really try to cater their experience to what they want, right? So if they come to us and say, I really want to go back, then we create this academic plan that's going to be very, very intensive sometimes so they can recover enough credits to go back. But what happens more times than not is that the kids are feeling connected for the first time in their lives because we're so small. Right? So then a lot of them who thought they wanted to go back are not going back.
Actually, I'm good where I'm at.
I just stay right here.
It happens it happens often. I've seen it. Kids will be like, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna just chill here. You know what I mean? Because the kids are smart. They know who got their back. They know they best route to success. So, you know what I mean? You can't be mad at them when they make that decision either.
And like I said, most of the teachers been there for a long time. So they know they have to meet with the kids where they're at. Whereas like when you're at one of the comprehensive schools, a lot of the attitude is if you put in the work and get it, you get it. And if you don't, you don't, right?
I ain't got time.
I remember when I was in high school, it'd be kids that go to jail for like a year or two, get out, go to People's for 4 months, and then they got more credits than me. I'll be like, how? They be like, I only got to go 2 classes. I'll be like, how? They be like, I went to People's. I'm like, I need to go to People's.
Right.
Or I'll see them early. They be out kicking it somewhere, get out of school at 1 o'clock. I'll be like, how?
And you got more credits than me.
Yeah, you got out of school. Just do the little packet.
Early.
Just do the little packet and just chill. I'm like,
yeah, and that's one thing. Like we've moved away from packets altogether.
dude, I remember they used to do like a packet a week. I'm
Yeah.
like, 1 packet a week? This it? They used to show me, just flip through this, do that, and I'm done I'm like the whole week. Dude, this not making sense.
No,
How is this possible?
right. So over the years, and Edison actually started to work, but we just tried to phase the packets out, man. You know, and really trying to incorporate some rigor. You know, making it so it's
School-like.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So every once in a while we'll pull out a packet, but that's in like an emergency type situation, like the kid was in a car accident or you know what I'm saying. Other than that, no, you got to come to school and you got to be in class and. Yeah, so
got to wear a uniform.
Got to wear a uniform, and actually, like I tell the parents, like we're just trying to eliminate distractions. Can you imagine?
I never understood the purpose for uniforms until I had a child that had uniforms.
Oh man, I used to ask for uniforms.
I love the idea of uniforms. It makes sense because ain't nobody worry about the latest and greatest.
That was me. I didn't have
the ones that don't have it. Don't gotta. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Right.
Everybody were the same thing.
Everybody looked the same.
Yeah. I remember at Cooper and in Vallejo Junior, they used to always threaten to give us uniform, and I was like, "Bring them,
please."
I did not have to wonder what I got to wear in the morning.
Right,
same thing every day.
And when you think about it, like okay, so Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook, and their wardrobe is so minimal because of that very thing. Like I don't have to wake up and think about what I'm gonna wear. Like I know what it is.
Man,
and
I just didn't have to fly his gear. So
that's true. Steve Jobs was like that. He was just like a black turtleneck.
Wait, did he die?
Yeah, he's weird though.
He wore the black, but I'm just saying, like the black turtleneck.
It was so he didn't have to.
He didn't wear no shoes.
Right, that too.
And he stunk.
The other thing too is like when you think about it. I mean, in certain fields you get into, like that's it's pretty standard. Collar shirt and some
uniform. Yeah. When you go to work, you wear a uniform.
So like
some places,
it's actually, and the kids don't make the connection, but it's actually prepping you. So like we have kids who show up out of uniform, right, and they'd be like jeans and maybe a button up, maybe And then I'm like, well, you out of uniform. Like, what's going on? Oh, Santos, you got to let me slide on this one. I'm like, why? Why should I let you slide? I got a job interview. And in my head, I'm like, yo, like the uniform would be a better look
than what you got
on. You know what I'm saying? Or I had to go to court, right? I was in court. I'm like, the uniform would be a better look in court.
This baggy shirt,
right?
Button up,
sagging with the jeans. You know what I'm saying? So, they're not always making that, making that connection. But kids, man, they want to express themselves through their clothes and. Right. It'll be greater later. That's what I always say.
And let me ask both of y'all, how y'all feel about people trying to say that schools is like basically brainwashing your kids to be institutionalized.
Institutionalized?
Institutionalized. Where like listen to a bell, staying in class. Y'all heard that before?
Yeah.
Like how they comparing the two?
Well, and you also hear the theory of why schools were created. I mean, there's certain theories like factory work. There's all those things. Do
you believe that go hand in hand, or just somebody just came up with a thought and ran with it?
I mean, besides where you be getting these questions at? Nah, man. I mean, when you really look at the history of education in the United States. Education was really meant to support the industrial age. So it was meant to prepare kids to be ready to go into a factory and work. So if you look at the way a school is modeled, bells, all that stuff, that's how a factory operated. You know what I mean? And so once the factories got phased out, we just never changed the way we did schools. We just left it the same.
That's a good answer.
Yeah. Which is part of the problem which we're experiencing now, because like we're trying to use that model in a time where it's like totally different. You know what I'm saying? So, it's hard to enact so much change, but like, we got to think about it differently. You know what I'm saying? Because people aren't going to just work in factories anymore. Like
they're not.
It's totally different.
Hey, what was your upbringing like to get you to the point to where you are right now? Because you said nobody ever thought that you'd be where you at now.
Yeah, I just I played sports. I was a pretty good student, but like, it didn't look like I was going to be a teacher.
What you think you was going to do?
I wanted to be an athlete. I knew I wanted to do something in athletics, right? So, You know, if baseball didn't work out, I played 4 years in college, and then that was pretty much it. Like I had a couple tryouts I could have went to, but they weren't talking no money. Like you know what I'm saying? So it was like, this phase is over. So I want to do something in sports. So I changed my major to kinesiology, and I was actually doing my intern hours to become an athletic trainer. So you got to like do 1,400 hours at the time, anyways, no pay. Like you just got to volunteer before you can even take the test. Yeah. And so I was doing. I was enjoying it, but then when I started teaching for that month, I'm like, that's it. That's it. But no, I was always a pretty good student. I definitely was in sports. That's kind of what kept me straight, because I knew I wanted to play in high school. But my parents. My mom graduated from the Vallejo Adult School, got pregnant with me when she was 16, had me at 17. My dad graduated from Hogan High School with like a 1.0, GPA. He came up in that era, man. There was a lot of drugs going on. You know what I'm saying? Like it was the 70s. You know what I'm saying? So, like education definitely was not like they would talk it, but like I didn't see it. You know what I mean? So, and this part why Ijoma, when we would talk, he's like, man, you got to share your story. So both my parents at one point were on meth together. Like first it was just my dad, and then something came along. It was my mom, and like times were hard. Like I could have.
It was just you, or did you have any brothers and sisters?
5 of us all together.
Damn,
5, yeah. For most of my growing up, it was just 3. Me and my brothers, because my sisters are a lot younger than us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so by the time I graduated, like they were still like in kindergarten or younger. You know what I'm saying? So there's a big gap, but it just happened, and that's kind of how like I've been moving about in my career. Like signs start telling me,
where to go.
Yeah, where to go. Like Joe Jones literally came and picked me up from the house. Like he called. If y'all know T.Y. Tyler, he called him and said, yo, I heard Ernani just graduated. Where is he at? I need to talk to him. So T.Y. shot him my number. It literally went down just like that. He picked me up from the house. I was staying on Carter Street right off of Sacramento. Mm-hmm. He came and picked me up from the house, took me down to the district. And that was it. That was it. Like, it wasn't like I went through this application. It's crazy. Even when like I got this job as principal, like I was an AP at Vallejo High, and in my head I just saw it. Right? I said, okay, things are changing at the district. Edison, he was doing a lot of networking with the district. I said it's only a matter of time for you get a job there, and that's I could see myself moving in. And he walks in one day. I said, Ed, when you gonna stop playing
and move on up?
Move on up so I have your job. He said, well, that's crazy because that's what I'm here to talk to you about. I swear to God. Like, wow. So that's the reason why I ended up. It's just like signs. Like things just keep happening. So I'm blessed, man. Blessed.
Hey, you said something interesting, and I found that I've done this with kids sometimes, which is sometimes it's not enough to give a kid a call and say, hey, go down to such and such and apply for this job. Sometimes you got to actually like,
let's go, I'm outside.
You got to get in the car, go pick them up. Do all that
extra mile.
You got to drive them to and be like, all right, now, because if you don't do that, you know what I mean? They won't, something gonna always come up. Oh man, this. Sometimes you actually got to put a kid in the car and be like, come on, let's go. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And that moment then changes their whole trajectory. You know what I'm saying? So I just found that really interesting in terms of your story.
Well, and that's why like mentorship is huge. You know what I'm saying? Like even growing up, like I probably wouldn't even have looked at college as serious as I did, even though I was a good student, because I was part of like this mentorship college program called I Have a Dream. So from the time I was in 6th grade, for whatever reason, they selected that class. Every week was having meetings and we're talking about college and having guest speakers. And Man, I'm from Vallejo. Like people from Vallejo don't leave Vallejo. Like, like I never even went across the bridge hardly. You know what I'm saying?
To college.
Yeah.
Dude,
So
we can't believe we're living in Sac right now.
right.
Yeah.
Like that's unbelievable.
No, seriously. I can remember growing up. We went to Guam one time. My great grandfather passed, and then there were a few times we went to San Diego because my dad was working at the Mare Island at the time before things got bad. But like we went to San Diego, we were like in the hotel and then at the swimming pool. Like that we could have been anywhere to do that. Like you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like we was in San Diego just hanging out.
Yeah.
So man, we never left Vallejo ever. You know, so the program was bringing us to Cal Berkeley, Stanford. Like even when I applied to college, like you know, the guidance counselor never called me out of class, say, hey, fill out these applications with the program. So we went to a place called PACT. I don't know if you ever heard of PACT. P-A-C-T, the PACT office. It only used to be in San Francisco. And then after I was out of school, they ended up being at the Boys and Girls Club, like a branch of it. But this like nonprofit helps kids identify colleges, have fee waivers, all that. So the
resources.
Yeah, my mentor brought me. He was like, and it was all free, obviously, because we were broke. We were on welfare, right? So he like, fill that one out, fill that one out. And at the time, like baseball was like just at the forefront. So like, I want to go to LSU because they had a dope baseball team. And he like, man, fill out this application for St. Mary's. I never even heard of it actually. You know what I'm saying? So I filled it out, got the acceptance letter, but still wasn't even looking at it. And then, you know, not knowing anything about how scholarships work in Division I, and like I didn't get an offer from LSU. Like, why am I going to go there and play? So I'm like, no, I could do it. You know, I was confident. So I called the coach. I said, hey, what about, you know, I'm interested in coming to play. Oh yeah, we have one day for walk-ons to try out, and you know, very rare do we take. I said, I'm not going there. You know what I'm saying? So it ended up at St. Mary's, and yeah.
So you got a scholarship at St. Mary's?
No, I walked on.
And then they gave you one, or like how was you able to go to school?
No, that's great financial aid.
Oh, okay.
No, well, you know, part of why, and this is leading into my podcast, right? That you know, that I'm venturing off into, and Jonas, you know, he's going to guide me a little bit with it. Is that just sharing? This is why I carry myself or conduct my business the way I do, because man, I messed up like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So I had, after my freshman year or during my freshman year, I had a good chance, because like next year you're gonna get a scholarship. Yeah, because I finally got an opportunity. It was like where at Cal, I didn't make any of the traveling teams for like half the year. Just suiting up just to play at the home games, but yeah, no at bats, nothing, right? So then shortstop, senior dude, he wasn't doing all that great. So he's like, man, we might as well get a young guy a shot, right? So I make the traveling team to Berkeley, and then I end up going like 1 for 2 with like 2 RBIs. So he's like, damn, you know, the young kid might got something, right? So he's like, you're starting this weekend, because that was a middle of the weekend, against Pepperdine, you know. And so depending on how well you do, whatever. So I ended up going like 4 for 8 with like 2 double. Like, it was crazy. So then he like, okay, you're gonna go to Loyola. So I'm starting to make all these road trips, and you know, he's like, oh yeah, we could start talking about scholarships. So man, got into some trouble. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I had like $5,000 that the financial aid, you know, didn't cover. So, you know, being from Vallejo, you know, I had to make a way out of no way. So, you know, without getting into all the details, I got into trouble. Kicked off the team, kicked off campus. Only thing that saved me was the resident director, who happened to be like a Christian brother, because it's at St. Mary's, right? I'm doing my thing next to a Christian brother, you know. But it was good because we built a relationship, and so the only thing he just asked me, like, why would you risk all this? And I was like, man, I owe money. Like, I wanted to finish school. And so he went to bat for me. He went to talk to the president. That's the only reason why I stayed in school, is because he went and advocated, and wow. on his name said, no, don't kick this kid out of school. He needed. So like, how can I show up to work every day, kids messing up just like I messed up, and be different? Right. You know, I think that sometimes when people become adults, they like, you forget. Oh man, like,
as if you had a perfect life.
Yeah. So kids be doing the craziest things, and then like, I mean, if you got to get a consequence, you got to get a consequence. But soon as that's done, you come on back and, you know, we'll talk. And I mean, you don't want to see me in action many of days.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna cuss you out too. I ain't gonna lie. You gonna take this whooping. And then we go.
Hey, that was one of the craziest days. I got a whole like section written on this. This girl get kicked out of class. Me and him sitting in the office just chilling, and all of a sudden, like the way his office is, like when the door to the outside campus open, you hear what's going on outside, but when it's shut, you don't hear nothing. So somebody came in, the door opened, and we just hear this girl wilding out in the hallway. And so we both get up, run outside. She cussing out one of the teachers. She got kicked out of class. She come in the office, and she getting hyphy with Santos. Like, you know what I mean? Like in there, and Santos was like, man, this my motherfucking, like, like if you don't calm down. Right, never seen it. She
like
just
Clark, huh?
Man, and she shut it down, man. And so I pulled the kid aside afterwards and was like he just got at you some type of way. Like how you feeling about that? And she was like, look, he can do that because I know he care about me. So when he get at me like that, he was really just trying to let me know that, look, I can take this a whole nother way if you want me to, or we can sit and have a conversation. So I learned so much about him just from talking to the student, because what I seen, it was unusual for me to see that, for him to be that real with a student, and the student like automatically took it as like, this person loved me. That's the reason why he getting at me like that right now. And so all the students, I really feel like had that understanding, you know what I'm saying? Because I always tell folks, if you from Vallejo, our kids, you gotta talk to them a certain way. Not saying you gotta cuss them out, but just saying like
don't be cussing me out.
Yeah, not saying you gotta cuss them out,
You gotta
but
get to their level somewhat.
Yeah, man, like you can't be coming with nothing fake, because they can sniff that out.
Oh man, a mile away.
They can sniff out the fake in you, like. You know what I mean? So you gotta be whatever your brand of real is. You know what I mean? You gotta be authentic.
Yeah, and I think that's the key. You know, because you know some people try to do it, and I'm not saying my way per se, but some people try to do it in a way that they seen somebody, you know, act like or whatever, and it doesn't work for them because that's not you. You have to be you, but at the bottom, when you peel all the layers back, the kids got to know you genuine. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to be. I always say, you know, there's only one or two ways you could do it. You could come and like rule with that iron fist, or if you can't do like that, like you got to have a finesse game. Like you got to make the kids love you so much that they check at everybody that you know that's trying to mess with you.
Disrespect.
How you even get to that point in your career? Like, did it take you a long time, or you always had it in you from that first month?
Yeah, you know, I just think, like I said, just my story and you know, my story as far as how I grew up. I mean, we grew up poor, bro. Like, I tell people all the time when they think that we bullshit, like we was eating sometimes because my parents would go dumpster diving. Like, no bullshit. Like, there was like an Intamin's like pastry place over off of Springs Road, like one of those like wholesale places, kind of like the Wonder Bread spot on Sonoma.
Yeah.
And so like, you know, they throw shit out and it really ain't bad, but they can't sell it no more, right? So my parents was going in there, bringing stuff home and shit like that. So that keep me humble. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, it's hard to explain, like, you know what I'm saying? So it always keeps me grounded. Like, I never, like, I see other administrators, you know, and I mean, I got a tie on today, but you see I got it on with jeans and, you know, sometimes they got they tie all the way tied up in the suit and, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like almost like they lose touch at times, or even like the women with their business suits and stuff like that. Like, they can't get on the kids' level. But part of it is that they didn't have to grow up like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't understand what, I mean,
So you basically can see a kid and be like, I know what they're going through.
Yeah, that's me.
They're just,
That's me. And,
relatable.
And what I try to communicate to the kids all the time, like, I might be sitting in a seat, but actually, and this is no bullshit. And I don't just tell kids this just to like, you know, try to win them over. Like, a lot of these kids are actually better than me than I was at that time. You know what I'm saying? There is a lot of potential It's just they haven't found their niche. Like, fortunately for me, like I was good. Like I found myself enjoying sports. I was pretty good at it. So that's what, if I didn't have that, like what would I been doing? Like, yeah, I mean, so many kids I grew up with went to jail, ended up going to jail and all that. Right now, I might have been right in the mix with that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, like a lot, I'm like, dude, I was way worse than you. Like anybody that know me, like, yeah, he was like, we were. So at Jesuit, my son got some coaches from Vallejo. They went to St. Pat's or whatever, but they're from Vallejo. And so, you know, they hear me talk and they know I'm from Vallejo. Yeah, we could tell you from Vallejo. I was like, yeah, I used to be a wild boy. Jasmine, no. He was a wild boy. So
hey, I want to ask you a question with that. We talk about it often here on the show. It's been a recurring topic, but you from Vallejo like us, you know what I'm saying? You telling us about how your childhood was, all that. You got a certain seasoning to you. I like that word, seasoning. Now you in the suburbs. Different suburbs than what we in, but you in a suburb nonetheless.
Right, nonetheless.
Kid going to private school, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How do you deal with, you know, kind of that fine line between wanting to raise your family in a nice environment, but also wanting to make sure that your kids come out
ain't no sucker
with a little seasoning to it?
Yeah, no, you know it's tough though, right? Because it's tough. You know, they've had to experience like struggles. You know what I'm saying? Just being in Vacaville, and you know, oh, your hair is, you know the same bullshit, right? Like. Yeah. I remember, and you know, like Vallejo just snapped quick. My son probably was like 6 years old playing football for the first time. So it's picture day, right? And you know, it ain't too many minorities out there, but it's a good number. So we like standing this white kid just playing with his hair, and oh, you look like a girl. Like he and my son just kind of looked at him. He's 6, he don't know. And so, you know, I kind of looked at him. He brushed him away. He said it again. I looked at Vallejo. Man, if he say it one more time, you better give him the business. Straight up, like, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, honestly, being in this position, like, as an administrator, has helped me grow tremendously as a person. So I'm able to handle situations in the suburbs, right? Differently than if I never had to put this hat on. But it's tough, man. Like same thing with my daughter. She wanted her hair straight, and my kids got beautiful hair. You know what I mean? I'm like, you don't need to straighten your goddamn hair. You ain't white. You know what I'm saying? But those are so you're absolutely right. It's hard, and then you know, just trying to do the best for your kids, but like, you know, they don't. It's a balance, man. And sometimes when you do too much, you lose a little bit on this end, but. Mm-hmm. You know, at the end of the day, man, you keep your eyes on the prize. So, you know, obviously we bring them around family, you know.
Right.
And so, you know, because our kids are kind of experiencing the same thing. So we keep them around each other enough, they will help ground each other, you know, right. Which is totally different than if they was in their suburb all by themselves and didn't have anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would be totally different.
I think that's what the difference, or what helps, because, like, our kids, like Janai's the only black kid in his classroom, but he don't hang out with nobody from his school because he got a million cousins to hang out with. Right. So I feel like that's definitely where the balance comes from, for sure. And Chum ain't really attached to nobody neither in school. Now that other one, oh my gosh, she wants to change her name to Emma so bad. Like, I don't know what we gonna do with her.
Oh man,
she just like, she wants her hair straight. Right. She's like obsessed with white people. It's really strange.
Right.
And it's just like, she told me, I didn't tell you.
No, you have it.
Oh,
and look.
Tell me either. Like, I don't know what's coming.
Let me tell you what she said. So I don't know what we were talking about, but she's like, I'm gonna be a mom. Am I gonna be a mom? I was like, yeah, but first you gotta be a wife. Mm-hmm. And then you're gonna be a mom. Yeah. Like, oh, she's like, is daddy your husband? I was like, yeah. And then she's like, am I gonna have a husband? I was like, yeah, you're gonna have a husband. And she was like, well, who is he? And I was like, I don't know yet. She was like, did God make him already? I was like, yeah, he out there. We just ain't met him yet. She was like, I think he's white.
Oh, wow.
I said, what? She's like, I said, what? She
hey,
said,
can we grow her up out of this phase,
I think
man?
she's like, I don't even know why?
What she say? Just playing?
Because when I was like, what? She was like, I'm just waiting. He's going to be black. Like,
Only because you said what though?
only
Like,
because I said what. But I'm just like, oh my God. I don't even know like what to do with her.
environment, man. Like it's the environment at the end. So you know, as parents, you know, you got to find a way to try to create a balance. You know, and like I said, being around family and friends. I mean, just the same way how y'all hooked up. Me and Teron, same thing, right? Like Tariq and Kai ends up at the same.
Kids will definitely bring you together.
Yeah, at the same school, like EK, and then it was like, oh, that's my guy, right? Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, you know, I'm coming over for a poker night, and then they coming over for the birthday. So it was good that we connected because, you know, the kids around the same age. And, you know what I mean? They don't have, they you know, and Kai don't hang out with anybody either. You know, every day he come and said, man, Dad, if it wasn't for college and it wasn't for football, like I wouldn't even want to go. He said, man, the kid's so weird.
Is that an all boys school?
It's an all boys school. Yeah. He said, man, these kids, you know, it's a whole different environment. So the thing I keep on trying to reaffirm to him, like it's a dose of the real world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you got to know how to mix and mingle in different crowds.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't, you know, you get stuck in a little rut. I mean, you know, you never know who you may work with, or I said, and these people you meet, maintain them connections because you never know when you're going to cross paths again.
Right.
I'm a huge believer in that.
I took my son to a, what school did we go to? Now on that field trip?
Oh, I don't know.
Man, it was some school like a couple hours from here, all white school. And I just ran into this dude that was an administrator, and he thought I was trying to be a student to go to the school. He was like, so how you like to visit? And I was like, it's cool. And then he was like, so what you think about going to school for? I'm like, oh, no, I'm here with my son.
Hey, first of all, you was like, hey, I still got it.
I don't know what, I can't remember the name of the school.
I get that all the time. I don't even be tripping. I go to the high school, they ask me why I'm walking around class. But so I was telling him about my son, and I was like, man, he was like, yeah, I'm an administrator here. I try to get minorities to come here. And I was like, dude, like, why though? Like,
oh,
why?
you're already off. You threw me off with that, huh?
Yeah, I was like, why are you trying to get them to come here? And he was like, because we got a great program. We got this, we got that. He was like, if you go to school to be an engineer, if you want to get into science, if you want to get in this is the best school to get into. I'm like, nah, I don't see it, dog. And then he said exactly what you said. He was like, dude, this is what I tell students. This is the real world. Yeah. If you're gonna get in this field of science, engineering,
these are gonna be your peers.
These are gonna be your peers. He was like, I tell them this is 4 years to understand the people that's gonna be in the real world with you. If you can get through this 4, you're gonna get through it for life. I was like, I never thought about that. Yeah. Depending on what field you going to, that plays a major role instead of just getting dropped in it at work. Like, boom, now you got to go through that work and it's brand new.
But here's the reality. Like, it's on us. So as parents, you know, putting your kids in that environment, and then as far as us in education, because we need to change the field though, right? Like it needs to be more diverse, but unless people are like putting their kids in positions to do that, like how does it ever change? But once again, it's expectations, man. Like, I mean, how many people you knew growing up that had a lot of potential and never even saw half of their potential because of expectations, right? Like, just seeing why, and then environment. Like, I think we all do a pretty good job of trying to, you know, show our kids the right way. But you know, I grew up with my best friend Thumper at the time, right? I'm always at his house all the time. Mom, that's how I learned how to play dominoes. You know what I'm saying? Mom taught me, but all we see is them drinking, playing dominoes, talking shit, right? Like, unless you see, and like I said, that's where the mentor program helped me because I saw something different. You know, I got to leave the neighborhood where some kids didn't get to leave the neighborhood. You know what I mean?
Man, I wanted to reflect on something back earlier. You was telling me when you say you see kids, you be like, dude, you are way smart. I be saying that to people like, you got like kids, they're like, you got a nice house, nice car. I be like, dude, look, this is nothing. Like at your age,
right?
That's what I had my report card for a while. Just like I was even breaking it down to my nephew. I'm like, dude, at your
showing
age,
everybody that report card.
I was not the grades. My grades don't reflect what's going on right now. Like you can have all this and beyond. Just apply yourself.
That's it. Online that all the time too.
Hey, I'll be like, dude, like It was bad.
Yeah, no, man,
It was bad.
and you know, like I mean, every day I wake up, I know that I'm meant to do something because there's so many times I should have been in trouble.
Yeah,
and I didn't get in trouble, right?
That's dope.
So it's like I mean, it made me slow my roll in a lot of regards because you can't keep playing with the game, right? Like, so, but yeah, because some of my friends got in trouble, and they went a whole different path, and I didn't. So, yeah, every day I try to make an impact.
I want to ask you something before you jump. Ask your question going back, but may sound weird, but how I see you around your kids, and you like a great dad. Was your dad, was he good when he was off drugs, on drugs? Like, where you get your example from?
How do you know how to be a good dad?
Where you get your example from of being the dad that you are?
Well, I would say probably out of my siblings too, I'm probably the only one that was old enough to remember, because the other ones were really young when it went bad. But yeah, he was pretty good. Like even when he was bad, like we was still. Here's the thing: when you're dealing with somebody who has an addiction, like they are who they are. So like when he wasn't tripping, we were still playing catch. Doing those types of things, wrestling. But then when it was bad, it was bad. You know what I'm saying? So,
what was bad? Like just
yeah, the abuse. There's some abuse there, like mental, physical. I mean, like all the things. Like someone's coming down off drugs. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So, shit, we didn't have no. I mean, no food. When I say no food, like there were many times where it was. I don't know how it was in Norfolk, but in Beverly Hills, like. You can walk down the street and there are all kind of fruit trees, not fruit trees. No, they were chickens.
It was like country up there.
Right? No, seriously.
I thought y'all
goats,
chickens.
Goats, all that. But no, we would pick fruit. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So we go through, and that's what we would be eating. You know what I'm saying? So like bad, like.
How'd you get through school with like barely eating and what you was going through?
Free lunch.
Wait to go to school.
That was a guarantee. He was killing breakfast.
I'm waking up on time.
Hey,
killing them milks and stuff.
And I'm getting to school early, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Get my issue. So, people don't understand, like, when they talk about cutting funding, like, how important programs like that is. And real talk, like, and people don't want to give, hey, the Black Panthers is the one who started that movement, right? Yeah. Like, they the one started, like, a free lunch program. Like, a lot of people don't know, since this is Black History Month, right? Mm-hmm. So, a lot of people don't know that. And then,
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
you didn't know that?
Yeah.
That
and
Black Panther started free lunch.
No, seriously. So at the time they started these programs in the communities, right? And then schools adopted that. They saw that model and they saw the need, and a lot of people don't want to acknowledge that. But yeah, so but
lunches are expensive. By
seriously.
the way, nowadays they're $2.75.
It used to be like 35 cents.
50 cents.
Now it's $2.75.
That's why you gotta use one parent's income.
It was $1.25 when we was going there.
I don't know what it was. I remember them chocolate milks was like 25 cents.
I mean, we had cold pack,
I used to
pack.
get extras on Fridays.
But now though they have like a variety to pick from.
Yeah.
Like they can pick one meat, one vegetable, one they
sounds-
have like a whole spread, and they have like a la
They got a
carte
buffet.
option.
Hey, that must be an Elk Grove.
Yeah, she telling our business now. Come on, now. That's just. I was thinking like, man, I ain't got that in Vallejo. Like, they still got the cold pack, hot pack, and milk. Our kids be talking about Takis.
Oh man,
That's hecka funny. My bad.
yeah, but now that you once you get through it, man, like like honestly, when you're going through it, like why me?
Yeah, but it made you who you are today.
So now that it's over, I'm like, I'm glad I grew up like that, right? But at the time, it was like, cry yourself to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like, why the hell got to be us? Like, what we do and all that, right? But like I said, it was a purpose. It was a reason.
Oh, but yeah. So answer my question. To go back on my question. So the times your dad was cool, that's where you picked it up from, or it just?
I would say, yeah. I mean, and even he.
Are your parents still alive today?
Pops passed away. This will be 2 years.
Oh, okay. Same with my pops. No.
Yeah, like February 25th, actually.
Oh, wow.
Dang, it was in February
My
too.
pops died in February.
Damn,
Not
that's
to be
crazy.
like, me too. I'm just saying, like, my pops passed away in February.
Yeah, no,
too.
mom's still alive, working, doing well. Yeah, so, but even he didn't know how to parent. Like, you parent. And here's the thing that I've realized, and I do things differently. you parent how you were parented. You know what I'm saying? So like as adults, you have to realize like what works wasn't. I grew up get your ass whooped. You know what I'm saying? And I still believe in whoopings to a point. But now let's talk first. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to do things different. If you know it, if it affected you, can't do the same things.
Yeah, I was talking about whooping my son last week.
He's on a rampage.
Hey, please don't leave him alone.
When he tapping up Bella, we got a problem.
Hey,
like,
please don't leave him alone with them kids no more.
Hey,
Everybody got the business.
I was gone for like a week. That was a long time.
I tell you what though, if you do it, obviously we ain't talking about abuse, but if you do it early and you're consistent, you don't gotta whoop them later.
Yeah,
We don't really gotta whoop him now.
we don't gotta whoop him now. It's just like one
just-
second, and then it's talk to him. It's like my son is like, dude,
handle
look,
being by themselves.
what I learned in management is like let them. I don't want to do all the talking because you know what we talked about. So you tell me, I'm like, why are you here? Like I make him do all the talking.
Right.
We're here because of this. What did I tell you last time? You told me that.
Which is great though, because you make them think.
Yeah, I'm making
I
him.
wake up, the loft is dirty. I'd be like, turn off the game, and you know why they look, because the loft ain't clean.
Yeah.
You already know.
Right.
Yeah, so it's like me making them tell me why they're in trouble instead of me telling you did this again. I'd be like, how many times I talked to you?
Right.
This about the second time. Oh no, about the third because I forgot about that time. But now it's time about that action. Now it's time to get into it. So
Right. No, and so so my dad, you know, there were a lot. He was a good dude. You know what I'm saying? Like just had an addiction, and so definitely got some of the good stuff. And then, you know, in my head from early on, I was like, whatever he did that I don't like, I'm not doing that.
Doing that.
Okay.
Whereas like some people are like, I'm doing exactly without even thinking about it. I'm doing exactly what they did to me.
fall right into place.
Fall right into place, and then it gets perpetuated, right? Like, and that's somebody got to break the cycle. You know what I mean? So, you know, and fortunately for me, you know, I don't know, being how it went down, like my brothers kind of saw my lead too. You know, first one in my family.
Hey, you're the oldest, huh?
Yeah, first one in my family, even in my both sides to even go to college. Yeah, let alone finish. Yeah,
You
so
set the trend.
yeah, man. So you know,
Hey, do you talk about addictions to your son and them about like how
absolutely.
how that's in y'all, like, because you know they say it's like
Yeah,
like your parents got it, you could possibly be addicted, have addicted personality.
Those iniquities, right? So, we talk all the time. Like, dude, I'm literally scared of drugs. Like, and people don't. Okay, if you knew me from back in the day, like some people might have thought like I was dibbling. I had an uncle like 4 years ago tell me, you know, when you was young, everybody thought you was on drugs. Like, I'm like, for real? Like, why would anybody think that? Like,
It was that wild. They was like, man, he gotta be on something to be that wild.
well, you know,
that ain't natural.
Like, I was in the streets, you know, I was ripping and running. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, because my parents was doing what they was doing, like I didn't have no curfew. I'm out all night.
You was
know
just
what I'm saying?
living.
Just living. So, you know, when somebody ripping and running, you think some drugs involved. But I'm like, dude, I haven't tried a drug in my life. I mean, obviously, I don't count weed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think everyone. Hey,
clarify that.
I'm
but that's
not gonna,
real though.
No, I'm not gonna give you the Bill Clinton. Like I only hit it once, but I didn't inhale. Right? No, but I mean, I legit don't smoke. Like that's not my thing. You know what I'm saying? That's not my bag. But I'm not gonna sit and lie like, oh, I tried, but I never tried a drug. You know what I'm saying? Ever scared? I just know if I try it one time, that's it. My life is done. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you have to be
with this coat.
Right.
Hey, that's real talk, man. Because I had a cousin who both her parents, you know what I'm saying, had got addicted to crack. And then, like, the minute she tried meth, just on a fluke, ain't been the same since.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she was good for, like, years. Tried meth one time. And the descent happened rapidly.
Right.
Like it went from like functioning to like not functioning in a matter of months. You know what I mean? And it was just crazy because it just reinforced like you do gotta have like that, like I'm afraid of this type mentality. You can't get bold and be like, it ain't go, because all it take is one time.
You know, it's crazy. I know somebody that hit it hit some crack and was like, that was the best high of my life.
I know somebody too.
You know what feels so good? I said, I can't do that again.
No,
I understand why people get addicted.
Yeah, my boy said the same thing. He said
like,
he said it felt so good. He just knew it was evil.
Yeah,
he was like,
that's what he was explaining to me. He was like, I can't even explain it. It feels so good. He was like, I would never do that again.
Hey, was he white?
Nah, he was black.
What?
OG, like 57, 58. He was like, man, best thing in my life, dog. I had to stop instantly. Never again.
Because you could see how you get addicted.
Yeah,
to
he
it.
was like, I could see why you wouldn't want to do nothing but that all day.
Yeah, he's like, man, I just felt myself selling everything I had. You know what I'm saying? Like pawning my VCR, man.
How much can I get for this VCR?
Right. So
That's crazy.
I mean, people got to be aware of those things too, man. And I don't think a lot of enough conversation goes into that, and kids is really, hey man, here's the thing, kids, your parents aren't lying to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of times kids think that we just want to control their life, right. But like, nah, man. Yeah, even with the whole dating thing and like, sex and all that, right?
Ooh. I got a dating question.
Man, I got a story for you too, bro.
Dating?
Oh man.
Oh, they just want to control my life. They don't. Nah, we trying to save you some headaches.
Hey, read that, Tiff, because you read better than me.
Hey, before you read,
busting my whole kneecap.
let me tell you.
Not half of it, the whole thing.
It's gone.
So Amaya had her first date.
I'm about to say first what?
I don't know if you want to talk about down there. First what? I'm like, hold on, brother. Like,
what do you mean first date?
Man,
like one-on-one?
Look, let me tell you, man.
Ooh.
Tell me.
So, so we recorded Thursday, right?
Yeah.
It disappeared.
So when I get home Thursday, shout out to Jasmine for the leave. So I get home Thursday.
Stage name because I don't have one.
When I get home Thursday, she's like, mommy. No, she's like, can my friend come over tomorrow so I could twist his hair? And she like, mommy said like he can only come over if you here. And I'm like, who is his friend? You know what I mean? So I had to talk to her mom. She like I think it's her boyfriend. I'm like,
boyfriend?
Okay. So of course I'm like, okay, I gotta meet dude. Man, next day his mama dropped him off at the house.
You met the mama?
I met the mama.
Drop his skirt.
Hey, did you tell him? I know about this hair thing. Get your hair twisted. I know. You better not try nothing, brother.
Bruh, no, I told them both because my daughter ain't never twisted hair in her life.
This is what I'm saying.
In her life, right?
So, dude had dreads.
Yeah. So I told him. I said, if your hair fall off. Cause you over here trying to be cute. I'm like, y'all could just say what this is.
Right. Be real.
And we could go, you know what I mean? But I'm like, y'all trying to put on this, like you trying to get your hair done facade. So I was like, if your hair fall off, that's on you. But I was like, don't go past my steps. Like, don't go past my steps. Y'all need to be within.
You can stay right here on this carpet.
Eyes view. So
right.
I let them have the living room and I just did my work from the island in the kitchen.
Better than me.
You didn't go to the office?
Huh?
You didn't go to the office?
Nah, well, I did at first. I went and I sat in the office and I was just like, hell nah. I'm like, I know how little kids is. Like, I was like, nah, I need to be.
Hey,
you did it on the island.
Hey, we all know that when you seen somebody getting their hair braided in the quad after school,
right?
Yeah, oh no, we just friends.
You between them legs, like
right. Yeah.
Look, he was comfortable too. They was watching Friday After Next. I said these little
right.
Look, man. And then I knew it was her. I knew it was somebody that she liked because she didn't want me to say it's her boyfriend, but I knew it was somebody that she liked because she kept talking to me. You know what I'm saying?
While she was doing the hair. So I'm in this, Daddy, why are you talking to me so much? Like, talk to your friend. Focus on his head, your head, you done hit.
Hey, did she think she was doing this?
On your palm, bro.
Smoke screen. She thought you was hitting you with the smoke screen.
Yes, man. I'm like, if you don't focus on his head,
Get daddy comfortable so he can get out of here.
yeah, he gonna little
Nothing
boy.
to see here, Dad.
Little dude gonna say how it look. I said it looked the same way. Nigga, what you think how it look?
Right.
You ain't tricking nobody. You know what I'm
He
saying?
talking about how it looked.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
I'm like, it looked the same, but it was cute, man. Because his mama show was like, when she came to the door, she was like, he was not gonna come over here without me walking up and seeing. I was like, it's all good. I'm here.
Yeah,
Like,
and you are not slick, man. Like, stop. You know what I mean?
This Elk Grove game, that's the only thing that made me feel better, because I'm like, he coming with some strong Elk Grove game, which ain't nothing compared to that Vallejo game.
You deal with you.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, I see you coming a mile away.
Did you have to go with that? Because, your daughter had a pretty.
Oh, my God.
Like, what you, like, how?
Well, here's the thing. Like, and I got this from Angie, right? Like, if I'm too hard, this she ain't gonna tell me nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So that was probably the same reason why you even flow with the format anyways, right? So I had to kind of, ease up, swallow my pride.
When did it kick in, though?
High school.
Like 9, 10?
Well, how old is she now? Like 18?
Yeah, she'll be 19.
So she in college.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, she's in college.
Scary. It's scary, dude.
I
It's
can't
scary.
even imagine.
Letting her go.
Yeah, it's scary.
Thank you for listening to the Game Orchestrator Part 1. Please be sure to tune in next week for the Game Orchestrator Part 2. If you haven't already, please review us on iTunes 5 stars. We appreciate all the love that we give. On behalf of Two Dudes and a Chick, Tiff and Priest D, this is Dr. IJ signing off. We'll see you all next week. Peace.